Hi there, I hope all is well. Welcome to Pearl, a world where modern-day princesses strive for class, sass, and strass. I'm your host, Victoria, and today's episode is on a topic that is really close to heart, which is embracing your natural beauty and the beauty that God made you to have, not the artificial beauty that society wants you to have, okay? So grab a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you're drinking. I actually have a cup of tea right now. And let's snuggle up, or if you're on a hot girl walk or whatever, let's get to it, okay? So the first reason why is that you don't need it, okay? What's crazy is that women today are so brainwashed into thinking that they need to look like a super puffed up alien in order to be considered beautiful, when your natural beauty is exactly what God gave you for a reason, okay? Maybe it's not necessarily the beauty that society expects of you, but why would you listen to a society that is so superficial and doesn't care about you over the beauty that God gave for you in such a sweet and loving way, okay? So you really don't need it. I see so many women who get, work done, and I'm like, you were such a beautiful girl before, a normal girl before, and it just saddens me to see so many women feel the need to go under the knife or whatever, or get filler or Botox to aspire to this level of beauty that you're never going to actually reach. You're never going to be pretty enough. So then, if you will, kind of like let go. Let go. Don't let, and this actually goes into the second point, don't let society have power over you when it comes to how you look. There are so many more important things in the world than how you look, okay? And I know some people kind of get like frustrated with that because society is so obsessed with it, but that's why you have to kind of mentally step out of society, okay? If you need, take a social media break, take a break from the internet, because the internet is just going to bombard you with all these standards of beauty that you can't hold and that you can't have. And that's okay. We're not supposed to all look like weird, like 16-year-old, like alien pufferfish people, okay? If you're a 28-year-old woman or a 50-year-old woman or a 70-year-old woman, that is such a blessing that you are able to, if you will, like wear your age and show people that you've lived a long life. For me, I think it is so beautiful when I see an older woman, like maybe 70, 80 years old, with wrinkles. But when I say wrinkles, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just being objective, because that's such a sign of how blessed you are to have lived so much life. It's a sign of wisdom. It's a sign of experience. So again, don't let society have power over you, okay? And then another reason why you shouldn't be getting Botox is because you're feeding into your insecurities then. You're giving power to your insecurities when you shouldn't be, okay? So going back to what I was saying before about stepping out of it, when you realize that beauty, if you are the way you look, should I say beauty? Okay, yeah. The obsession with beauty should be maybe 1% of your thought space, not 90 to 95%, which is unfortunately what most women are experiencing today. You are going to be kind of flabbergasted. You need to be able to step out of it and stop thinking that you are lacking something because of how you look, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe in bettering yourself maybe and your looks, but through a very natural and healthy approach, okay? For example, if you're very insecure about, let's say, the way you look or whatever, is there a way in which you can fix it naturally and that's good for you? So if you, let's say, weigh 200 pounds as a 5'4" girl, maybe losing some weight and really pouring into exercising and dieting is what's going to kind of fix that mental thing that's going on, those insecurities, okay? So if you want to change the way you look, I wouldn't necessarily go through an artificial, like you buy it kind of like transactional way, or like I'll give you money and you give me a face or you give me a body. No, like you need to work hard for whatever I guess you're trying to achieve, if that makes sense. And again, I believe in natural beauty. So what is the beauty that God gave to you and wants you to exude? And so, maybe you want to add some makeup. That's fine, but why not like simple makeup? If let's say you're insecure about your body, okay, rather than going under the knife for it, why don't we start really pouring into healthy habits and exercising more and movement and all that, okay? So it's unnecessary, honestly. I think it is such a testament to your character if you're able to wear your natural beauty elegantly and embrace that and not feed into those insecurities and give power to society. They shouldn't have that power over you. These people who don't care about you in society, who are so superficial, who are just judging people on their looks, should not infest your brain into thinking that you're inferior because you don't look a certain way. Again, that's giving them power to their superficiality. They shouldn't have that power over you. Okay, then, at least personally, this is my opinion, natural beauty is so sweet, okay? For girls all across the range, if you will, color, looks, size, and I'm talking more like facially, however we look, it is so beautiful, the natural beauty, okay? Again, I believe in maybe cleaning up, maybe doing your eyebrows, plucking your eyebrows, maybe adding a little color to the lips, a little color to the cheekbones, and a little mascara, very simple. But that simple natural beauty cannot compare, okay, to the artificiality of beauty, if you will. Like, the natural beauty is so sweet. I don't know what it is, but it shows that you embrace the way that God made you to be. You like to accentuate it, if you will, and you like to decorate it a little bit, but it's not to the point where you literally need to transfigure your face into a completely new thing, okay? So accentuating the features that God gave you, complementing it, adding little things, but if you really have to go through surgery, I think that's a bit extreme, okay? So again, personally, natural beauty is so sweet. I love seeing it because I see many young girls now, because I'm actually a math tutor, and the majority of my tutorees, if you will, my students, are teen girls. And when I see these girls, now they're starting to kind of experiment with makeup, with looks, with fashion, and all that kind of stuff. And they ask me advice outside of our sessions on things, because I love all things girly. And when I see the girls who, kind of, if you will, do the cleaning up, right, from childhood to now they're transitioning into womanhood. They do that cleaning up of, again, plucking your eyebrows, maybe taking care more of your skin, adding a little more pinky red colors to your face, like, again, blush and lips and such, and a little bit of mascara, whatever it is. I think, wow, like, she is such a beautiful young adult. Like, look at this young lady. But then there are the girls who really pound on the makeup or even get plastic surgery. I remember being in high school and there were girls who were getting plastic surgery, which was unbelievable. At 16, 17 years old, they had to get their parents' permission and consent to do that. And it was just, should I say, it's a shame. It was such a shame to see that they really felt that this one little piece of their face they were so hyper fixated on, they thought was so ugly, was so bad, that they needed to do that to themselves at such a young age. And so for any young ladies out there, or even older ladies, I would highly recommend, again, accentuating your face, but not transfiguring it. You don't need to change your features. Again, like with the whole makeup, like caking on, and they put the foundation in these colors, and it's like queen, you don't need to do that. Like princess, you don't need to do that. Like your natural face is already so beautiful. I don't understand why we think that they're not. Who is getting in our heads to make us believe that our features aren't good enough? This is a nose. It's an inanimate object. Why do we think we need to sculpt it and carve it? Or, our cheeks or our jaws or whatever it is. Like, these are bones. This is this is an anatomy class, okay? Like, this is a skeletal structure. Why do we need to carve that down or inflate it up or whatever for society's weird, twisted beauty standard? I don't know. It's just, for me, it's not the vibe. And again, going back, natural beauty is so sweet, okay? And then also, this is such a waste of money. You could be using all that money for your future, okay? And again, in this sphere of the internet, I will always prioritize and support women financially, supporting themselves, not necessarily like career women, like I don't like that, but like setting themselves up for success, okay, financially. I think that's very important as a young lady. You don't want to necessarily depend all the time on a man, because then you have no power or autonomy and you are dependent on him and his decisions. And I just don't really think that's also good for the psyche, but that's for another video, okay? But this money that that you're thinking of possibly putting down for these surgeries or these procedures, you could be investing in And not even just like, let's say, stock or real estate or whatever. And again, we can go into all investing if you want, but even in yourself, in your education, maybe in simple makeup. That's what I'm saying. It's like that very simple, elegant, natural makeup. You could learn how to do that. Or on books, you could invest on even like YouTube. I don't even know. There's a plethora of things that you could use with $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the surgery. I think the girl who got her nose done in high school, I think she told us it was $5,000. And she had a normal nose. Okay, anyway, it was $5,000. And I'm like, oh my gosh, with $5,000, you could split that in half, put like, $2,500 away in actual stocks, bonds, whatever. If you want real estate, if you're at that age, start saving for a down payment, whatever. And then the other could be for, again, your education, for other future things, maybe paying off debt, whatever. Like that kind of money should be put to good use, not to, again, feeding into those insecurities. Okay. And then on top of that, if you get these procedures done, you are giving money to an industry that does not care about you. Okay, you are giving your money to an industry that is profiting off of women's insecurities. And we all know this and we all heard that expression, but why would you? You literally see how like you're losing by doing this. Like you are not gaining your power as a woman by accepting her natural beauty. Like if you reject your natural beauty, you are kind of accepting defeat. You are saying, wow, society's marketing skills that are telling me that I'm ugly and that I'm not good enough really won, because they told me I'm not good enough. They made me feel like I need to buy something in order to feel good enough, buy a face, buy a body, I don't know. And so then I'm literally going to give my money over to get this artificial looking thing. And then again, there they go. They won. Now they're off with your money. And you're left with a face that is not going to look like this forever. You're still going to age, okay? And this actually goes to my next point, which is it doesn't look good, okay? I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't look good. So all these women online promote like their plastic surgery and they say, look at how good it is. Like, I don't regret it. Okay, you are seeing those women through a screen. You are seeing those women through their camera screen, okay? So would you see them and sure, they look nice with the filters and with the lighting and with that angle through a camera, through a phone. But if you were to see this woman in real life, I would really doubt that you would think she looks that good. And I'm not here to necessarily shame you if you did get plastic surgery, okay? But I'm saying I personally don't think it's doing what you think, okay? And like, I'm not here to judge you if you did already get plastic surgery and say like, you're bad and you're wrong. Like, in fact, I kind of see you as a victim. I'm like, wow, like the society won. Society fed her this lie. She bought into it and now she did this to her face. But I'm here to say, I don't think it's going to do what you think, okay? It doesn't look the same way that you think. I know this because I know many women, older women, of course, who have gotten plastic surgery, who in their photos, it looks great, but in real life, it doesn't. So why would you disfigure your face in that way and possibly permanently? I don't even know if there's like a reverse thing or whatever. Why would you do that? Why? You don't need to. You're a beautiful girl or woman. You really don't need to. And any man or person who's telling you otherwise, any pressure is all in your head. You're giving them power and you're giving them space in your head. You need to reject it. And now you might be saying, oh, I know it, but it's so hard. And I totally get that. But that's where another episode's going to come from. That's where you need to get off the internet. Okay? People don't look like this in real life. 100 years ago, people were dating each other and finding each other attractive for those natural beauty reasons. Look at a woman 100 years ago. Look at a woman in the 40s, 30s, 50s, whatever. What did they do? Like I'm saying, they would clean up their eyebrows. They would add a little color on their cheek and their lips, and they would put a little black on their eyes. And what I mean by black is like mascara or maybe even eyeliner. And that's it. They did not have this extravagant like 30, 40, 50 minute, 60 minute like makeup routine and inject themselves with things or go under the knife for things. Of course, probably the wealthier women were able to, but still. And This goes into the next thing where there are health risks, okay, and concerns. Why would you risk your health for the sake of beauty? That is not worth it, okay? And going back to my other video, which was on getting fit, not skinny, you need to focus on your health. Your health is the most important thing that you have on this earth. You were given a finite amount of time on this earth. Why would you spend it possibly limiting it? You could be doing so much good with your time. And to think that your surgery or your plastic whatever could be limiting that amount of time that you have on earth is kind of sad, okay? Like, and I don't just mean like dying from going underneath the knife, but like I know that certain procedures, you're more likely to gain infection, you're likely to possibly gain cancer, so then that's going to affect you later in life. So why would you do all of this for the sake of looking a certain way? Is it really that deep? Is it really that important to look a certain way, to look beautiful? I don't know. So that's just my perspective. So these are all objective. These are all outside the perspective of faith. And then I wanted to also bring in faith. I mean, it's so sad. God made you to look the way you look for a reason. And I actually thought of this one theory, which is kind of weird. And I was telling my friends about this at church, and I thought it was honestly pretty cool. And that's the theory that maybe God made you the way you were supposed to look, because how exactly you're supposed to look is what your husband is what your husband would fall in love with, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying he would just fall in love with your looks, but I'm saying like everything that you are, the whole package that you are, part of what you look like is a part of that. And so maybe, okay, how do I say this? Okay, imagine that there's a Prince Charming out there, right? Like there's this one Prince Charming for you and you're his little princess, okay? So Prince Charming is out there and he's looking for his princess, this one specific princess, and that's you. But you decided to, again, just kind of disfigure yourself and change the way you look so that you are no longer that princess that he was kind of looking for. And now I know that that might be kind of centered around men, and I'm not trying to be centered around men, but the overall idea is God made you to look a certain way, and there's a reason for that. And I can't help but think that maybe a possible reason for that, there's probably a plethora, is that that is who you're supposed to be with in terms of what you're attracting if your vocation is marriage. I know that was a lot of words, and I don't even know if that even made any sense. So let me know, and I can like maybe talk more about that later. But I hope you get what I'm saying, right? Like you were to look a certain way, and there's a man out there, if your vocation is marriage, who is finding that person and what she looks like and who she is, and fundamentally all the things that make her who she is. But how sad would it be though if she transfigured herself, if she felt that that wasn't good enough, and she again bought into the lies of society? I feel like he would be sad. And then I feel like you would be sad. Because let's flip it around for a second. Let's say your husband is out there, right? Let's say you're not married yet and your husband is out there, and he right now, imagine you could like kind of see his life through like a cloud or whatever, and he is down in the dumps thinking he needs to change his face through artificial ways, or even his body through artificial ways, and possibly risk his health, risk even how he will look at the end of it, because there's no guarantee it's going to look good. And like, what would you say to him? You'd probably be like, no, you don't need to. You are exactly what I'm looking for, just as you are. So that's what I'm saying, is he is thinking the same thing with you, okay? So just wait until the man is there to be able to, if you will, validate that you don't need all those things. And again, I don't want to make this centered around men, even though a lot of women unfortunately do center their beauty and how they look around men, but I'm trying to like put a cute, innocent, sweet spin on it, okay? But again, in general, in terms of faith, God made you to look a certain way. There's a reason for that. Maybe like crooked smile is so endearing and so charming to children that you are able to help children because they feel safe with you. Maybe your very squinty eyes or something, I don't know, maybe crow's feet, like some sort of feature like that, maybe almond eyes that you might be insecure about, even though I don't know why. You're very insecure about that, but maybe they're just so inviting to the elderly. Like you have no idea. Like I don't think we recognize how our genetic makeup could actually mean so much and be achieving so many beautiful things subconsciously. Like we don't even realize that. Okay, maybe you're more cross-eyed look or whatever, again, is so charming to somebody. And that is what attracted you to that person, or that person that's what made you attractive to that person. I don't know. So I would definitely put a spin on it in that way. But I can't help but think that I don't think God put us on this earth for us to, if you will, disfigure what he made. That we are made in his likeness and image. Do you think God is up in heaven, changing his figure, if you will? Do you think Jesus, like, on his time on earth, if he was literally like born yesterday or whatever, would be changing and blowing his face up with botox and filler and such? No, I don't think so. I think there are so many more important things in life than how you look, ladies. And it just saddens me that so many women are victim to thinking that if you don't look a certain way, then you're lacking something. And that actually brings me back to my last point, which is don't buy into this idea that you're missing life because of this quote unquote lack of beauty. Let me ask you something. Does looking the way you do objectively, I don't want you to be subjective here, does looking the way you do limit you from making friends? Okay. Does it limit you from having loving people in your life? Does it limit how much love God has for you? How much Jesus has for you? I don't think so. Does it limit your experiences? Does it limit the fact that you can, go to work, make money, and spend that money on really fruitful things? Does it limit the fact that you can go travel, that you can go impact people? No. So you see what I'm saying? Those things are way more important than your beauty and the way you look. So all of this is to say, do not buy into the lie that you're lacking something, or that you're not good enough, or that you're not quote unquote beautiful enough, because God does not see beauty as just a hot face and a hot bod. He sees beauty in your heart. He sees beauty in your mind, in your intelligence, in your kindness, and how you treat people, in what your fundamental character is, who your unique soul is. So focus more on that, okay? And again, go make friends, go experience things, go travel, go surround yourself with amazing people who support you and lift you up, okay? Don't focus on beauty. There's so many more important things. Don't believe you're lacking. Don't believe that you have a lack of, or like that beautiful people have this enormous privilege over you. Sure, it might open more doors, but again, is it negating all those wonderful things that I was talking about? No, you can have all those amazing things the way you're looking right now. So, thank you so much for listening. If you did, I'd love to hear your experience on possibly, reframing yourself. What were some things that you thought of that kind of moved you away from these lies that society is telling you? If you have any theories yourself, or any, really sweet, cute things that you tell yourself to kind of, if you will, get through the day, I would love to hear it. Beauty is just not that important, honestly. But anywho, thank you so much for listening. If you did, I hope you're having an amazing day. And again, I can't wait to hear from all of you. I am praying for you. Have a blessed day. God bless.